Hi everybody, this is Karen Palmer, and I am your host of Living on Purpose TV. And this is where you get all the information about how to live life with passion and purpose. Today I have an amazing guest, and this is my dear friend Natalie Ledwell. And I'm just going to introduce her as basically my mentor. She was somebody who inspired me to really follow my dreams. And she is just inspiring the world. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and then have her just share that information about what is going on with her and her life.
Oh God, where do I begin? No, it's been an amazing year actually, and for those of you who may be not familiar with Mindmovies or the company or the product that we have, a Mindmovies is basically the movie version of a vision board. So we actually have created software to make it really easy for people to create these movies for themselves, to get clear about what it is that they want, and then be able to use a movie, which is a combination of affirmations, photos, and music, to help them visualize with emotion the reality that they want to create for themselves, and to help them step into that and become a vibrational match to that amazing reality, and to attract that to them. So we actually got started back in 2007. Was our original website, and then we got serious over the US in 2008. Spent 6 months here just working our bums off to launch Mindmovies to the world, and it was a hard slog, but we made it. And it was the foundation of what we set up. So just to maybe share like a recent amazing project that I'm working on, and the lead up to that, because when you're talking about living a life on purpose, this is really a big part of this story or this message. And for some of you who have been following Mindmovies, you may know that my husband Glenn and I separated last year. We've been together for 18 years. We've had myriad of different businesses together, and we've actually built the Mindmovies company together. And even though we separated and we understood that we didn't need to be married anymore, want to be married anymore, we're still really good friends and great business partners. And of course, the separation really sent me on a bit of a personal journey of really starting to work on myself. I think that the end of our marriage really brought up a lot of patterns and things that I had, that I thought I'd really like to work on this and work through this, and and step into a better version of myself. And what was really strange was that especially for the last couple of years in our marriage, I had this thought that kept coming up for me, is that I'm wasting this amazing opportunity that's right in front of me, which I thought was very strange, because we have this huge business. We've reached over 1.5 million people around the world. We're empowering people to think positively and create these amazing lives for themselves. And so we've got this incredible, successful business. We're making a difference. And I'm like, why am I having this thought? This doesn't make any sense to me. And it actually didn't start to uncover until this last year. And so I spent this whole year, I did a thing called the Hoffman process, where it's like 6.5 days, and you get in, you hand over all your electronics, you're without no contact with the outside world, and you start to work through a lot of the patterns and programs that we picked up when we were children. And they will help you go through the whole process to get rid of those. And of course, that's a never-ending journey. It's not like we ever get rid of all of our patterns, because as soon as you get rid of the top ones, the other ones start to come up. But it really helped me learn more about myself, and to really step into I wouldn't say evolved, but I would just say a bigger version of me, where I'm a lot more connected, and I'm a lot more open and a lot more compassionate than I used to be. Because I spent the last couple of years of my marriage numbing out because I wasn't very happy. So now I'm sort of stepping into this new version. And at the beginning of this year, I had the download or the calling to create a children's version of our software, so the children can make Mindmovies, yeah. And so we got it finished in like February of this year, and then I didn't do anything with it. And it was really strange. I had the calling to do something with it, but I don't have children myself. And so I was like, I don't really have any contacts here. I don't know how to do this. What am I going to do here? And it was really interesting. I I won a session with a woman who's a channel. And I would normally not go to a session like this, but I went along, and apparently my spirit guides have been wanting to speak to me for some time. So when I was in that session with her, I went through a lot of different things, but I asked about the Mindmovies for Children program, and I said, what am I going to do with this? Did I build this for somebody else to work with it? I said, because I can't see what's happening here. And they said, no, both. You've done it for both. They said, you need to run with it yourself. But they said, you need to focus on the non-profit side of the business first, and then everything else will fall in place. I'm like, okay. All right, so I don't know what that means. And then about a month later, this is after I came out of the hospital process, Glenn calls me up. He said, look, I need you to get on a phone call with this guy who Glenn had been talking to for several months, doing some work with Mindmovies. He goes, he wants to talk to you about Mindmovies for kids. And Glenn's like, I don't know anything about it. This is your thing. I'm like, okay. So I get on the phone call. I'm not expecting anything. Glenn and this guy have been talking for like months, and nothing seems to have transpired. So I'm like, it's just a phone call. Anyway, so he tells me how this guy's English. We met him at an event here in San Diego. He just happens to be in Colombia, and his girlfriend down there, his family has a lot of government contacts. And Glenn had mentioned to him the phone call before about Mindmovies for Kids. And so they were at this function. They meet a guy called Mario, who's the dean of a university down there. And because it's top of mind, Martin says, this English guy says, you know, talk to him about Mindmovies for Kids. And Mario goes, we must have this. We must have the children. And so this is in Medellin, and Medellin used to be the most violent city in the world, because this is where all the cocaine cartels were operating out of. Well, now it's very safe, and it's a very progressive city. So they're already in this energy of turning things around and being in this positive, mindset. So a month later, I'm on a phone call with Mario, and he's like, can you, give us software so we can translate? I said, yes, I can do that. I said, I would have to change it, because he's like, we want to specifically work with underprivileged children. Mm-hmm. I said, well, the version I have is more for middle class kids, so let me make some changes so it's more appropriate for the smaller children. He said, well, I'd really like you to create a curriculum for the kids. I'm like, sure, okay. And I said, how old are the children? He goes, between 6 and 12. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, how many lessons? And he said, well, we want 6 weeks and 2 lessons, so we want 12 lessons. I'm like, okay. And he said, oh, can you also put something in there to teach parents too?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. That'd be great. And I said, so when do you need this? He said, well, could we have it in 2.5 weeks? And that way we can do the translation, and we can start teaching the teacher in October. And I'm like, sure, no problem. I'm like, okay, great. Great talking to you. Then I get off the phone and go, oh, my God, how am I going to do this? So I went from, I don't know what I'm going to do with Mindmovies to kids, just saying yes to creating a curriculum for teachers. And I'm like, oh my God. So talk about a bit of a stumbling block. Of course, I'm freaking out. I call Glenn and go, well, I've signed off on the Colombian deal. And he goes, that's great. I go, you do understand I've got no idea what I'm doing. He goes, standard issue. You figure it out. I'm like, but then I ring my girlfriend. I was looking for support from her. She goes, Natalie, you're a master manifestor. You will make it happen. I'm like,
awesome. Awesome.
So I managed to get the software to them to do the translation. I've been working with the Montessori teacher on the other version, so she sent me an outline of what a lesson is supposed to look like. So I got the outline of all the lessons, and so then I rang my copywriter and I said, Tim, I need you to flesh this out for me. It'll be a faster process if you put the words in and I tweak it, rather than me having to write everything from scratch, because like this, I have a week to do it. It would be just a bit over a week. He goes, oh my God, this is amazing. What an amazing project. He goes, we have a secret weapon. And I go, what's that? And he said, my wife's a teacher, and she specializes in early age curriculums. And I'm like, of course she does, because I need her right now. I manifested her. So between the three of us, we were able to create the 12 lessons in just over a week. So my next challenge with this project is to train the teachers. I have 20 teachers ready to go.
How exciting!
In a couple of weeks, they'll beam me in through video. Teachers can't speak English, and I can't speak Spanish, so we have interpreters on either side. And then I'm going to teach them how to teach the curriculum in the classroom. So, and we're donating everything. So we're donating 10,000 accounts to start with. We're paying for, obviously the creating of the curriculum and everything. So this is our way of giving back.
Yeah.
So it's obviously the non-profit side that the channel was talking about.
So exciting.
I know, and that's the thing. So this is like, we've had so much success with Mindmovies, and we've been able to reach people all around the world. But this is why we're in business. This is why we're here, to reach children and with this message. And of course, the whole course is created around, because they said you address bullying and early school dropout. In the course. Of course, I don't mention bullying at all, and I don't mention stop dropping out of school early at all. But the whole course is designed to build their self-esteem and to celebrate what makes them unique and different, and to get into the habit of giving compliments and looking for the best in other people.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, and then when we sit down and do all the creation of the software, so the Mindmovies, we're not talking about finishing school, we're talking about bigger picture stuff. And to get to the bigger picture stuff, they have to finish school. We don't have to focus on finishing school. That's already going to be a goal of theirs, so they can get to the bigger picture that they're focusing on. So yeah, really, really, totally, the project is so on passion and so on purpose. My life motto is to bite off more than you can chew and then chew like hell. And there were so many serendipitous events that fell into place for this opportunity to come up. And for, like I said, the last couple of years thinking I'm wasting one opportunity, I'm wasting this opportunity. Now I realize what was holding me back. I wasn't ready for this opportunity a year ago.
That is so amazing. As always, you have inspired me and continue to inspire me. That's what my passion is to get into the schools and to be teaching environmental education and animal advocacy and mindfulness. So this is beautiful. It's so important. And, I believe that we'll transform the planet when we start to really help these children to navigate in the world. So what would you suggest as an action step for somebody who's listening to this show and is saying maybe they're just a couple steps behind you and they're very, very passionate about wanting to help the world too, but they don't know where to go from here? What would you say would be the first step for that?
I say the first step is to get clear about what it is that your message is. It's been interesting since I've started on this project. I seem to be attracting all these people that have incredible programs that they're working with children with. We're all working and moving towards the same goal, but we're all doing it a little bit of a different way. So be very clear about what your message is and how you want to deliver it. And be clear about that. And then the next thing you need to do, and this is what I had to do, because that first week I was freaking out going, how am I going to do this? I'm not qualified to do this. And I'm thinking about what's wrong with me? Why did I get given this opportunity? I'm not even prepared for this. As soon as I went, you know what? It is not about me. And I actually my ego got out of the way. I just surrendered and said, you know what? This is too big an idea and an opportunity for it not to happen. If I get out of the way and surrender and understand and surrender that whatever happens is going to be for the greater good, that's when things started to shift. Now, we've had a cooperator for a year. I had no idea this is what his wife did for a living. No idea. And she was on our nose the whole time. And, and the other thing is that you've got to ask for help. You've got to surround yourself with people that can support you and that can really support you, not people that are just going to tell you that you're fantastic, and people that can actually help you get to the next level and ask for support. And when you get out of the way and surrender and go to the people around you, you'll be amazed it will open up for you. It always does. Those are amazing steps.
Do you have any other suggestions other than are those your 3 suggestions?
Yeah, I think they're the 3 suggestions. And also, like I said, when you get clear and then set yourself really strong intention. My intention, I didn't have a clear intention when I first created Mindmovies for Kids. I did it because I had a calling to do it, and then I didn't do anything with it because I didn't have an intention.
Right.
So then when I went to see the channel and she said, you know, focus on the nonprofit side of it, I'm like, that's what I need to do. So when I would sit down and visualize, I would still visualize being in schools with my movies, but I'd visualize on how I could do that as a not-for-profit. And then, of course, it wasn't long after that that the opportunity came away.
Amazing.
So set the intention that that's what you want to do. Set a strong intention, you know, which is emotion fueled, that this is what you want to do, and then, like I said, then just surrender and get out of the way.
Trust and allow.
People into place, exactly.
Yeah. So, wow, those are such exciting and amazing projects that you're on, and wow, thank you so much for sharing all that. Is there a way that people can get in touch with you so that they can join in your mission?
Yeah, you know what? The best way to reach me is through our website, which is mindmovies.com. And actually, through the website, you can get access to me. You can actually have a look at you know, our free giveaways and everything that's on the page. Also, the inspiration show you can find through that, and then I may have a couple of really great interviews with Karen on that website. But yeah, it's a great place to get some inspiration too, and maybe some ideas, and you know, it's a great way to see what other people are doing in the world, because most of the people that I have on the show are, you know, regular people that have really inspiring stories and doing some great work in the world. And like I said, we're all moving towards the same direction, and it blows my mind how we're all doing it a different way. Like, for example, 2 nights ago, I had dinner with a woman and her daughter. Her daughter's 21. They're from Ireland. And they're musicians, and one of the instruments they play is the harp. Oh. Now, what they do, they go into schools in Ireland, they teach the children how to play the harp, and then they do a concert at the end. And what they're finding is that it's helping to build their self-esteem and improve their school grades, because it's helping them, you know, focus on one thing, and then they get to be part of this collective at the end. So who knew that by helping kids learn how to play the harp, you know, that it would be making such a big difference. So it doesn't matter how wild you think your idea is. I'm telling you now, it's going to make a difference. So don't keep it. You're not doing anyone any service by keeping it to yourself. You really want to set that intention, get out there, ask for help, and make it happen.
Wow, what a great way to end the show. Thank you so much, Natalie. You are truly living your purpose, and hopefully we will continue to stay in touch, and I will have the link up on the page so that people can connect with you, and I really highly recommend people get involved with what Natalie's doing, because she's transforming the planet. We all are. We're all in this together. You know, there really is no separation. We are all, just like you said, on the same mission. It's just a matter of each person has a different gift to offer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And keep on doing what you're doing, Karen. You're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much.